Hey everybody, Jillian here for Illustrated Faith's Print and Pray Shop, and today I've got a new process video using Brianna Showalter's Print and Pray release called Dreamer. So here I have some elements printed on white cardstock, including her tabs and journaling cards, and the pieces that I'm going to focus on using today are these really fun patterned papers, the watercolored word fetty, and some faux washi strips printed on clear sticker paper for my Traveler's Notebook spread today. So I was going through the last session of 2020 Vision, the devotional kit from Illustrated Faith. The session is called Wisdom Vision, and as I was reading through it, I realized that a lot of what Tiffany said is echoed in my church's current sermon series. And I love when that happens. I love when these messages kind of overlap. And I don't know about you, but when that happens to me, I think it's just the coolest. It makes my ears perk up, and I really want to pay attention and listen in. And so today's spread is going to be a collision of those sermon notes and those takeaways from Tiffany's devotional and the 2020 Vision kit. So I'm going to start by creating my title for the page, our sermons series name, and I'm using a combination of phrases that I typed up on my typewriter and the Stencil Alpha outline stamp that's available in the Illustrated Faith shop. Because Brianna is just a brilliant watercolor artist, I wanted to include some watercolor on my spread today. And so I'm going in with a really small brush to fit inside the lines of this alpha stamp and just dropping in a little bit of colors that coordinate with the colors that Brianna used in her release. This part was really, really fun. You may notice that the printables that I have on my desk look a little different than what they look like when they're downloaded from the shop. And that's because I try to conserve sticker paper. It can get expensive, and so I want to make sure that I'm using the pieces that I'm printing on clear sticker paper. So what I will do is sometimes isolate the images that I know I want on sticker paper and put them in a new document and then go ahead and print them out. And so you can see I combined two of the patterned papers onto one sheet because I knew I didn't need a full sheet of both for this project, and I wanted to conserve that sticker paper. Next, I'm going to repeat the stamping and watercoloring. I wanted to have three words to focus on that really summarize the sermon series and the devotional takeaways. And in both places we're talking about wisdom and looking to Proverbs to teach us what wisdom is, to teach us discipline, and to help us do what is wise and fair and just. I love the little watercolor word fetty that Brianna includes in her set. There's like a whole page of it. And so I'm definitely going to reach for that a few times. I think it's just such a fun way to include words that I would use anyway, but just like a fun and different way to include them. And because they're printed on that clear sticker paper, it looks as if there's just watercolor on the background. So I'm using this bit from the 2020 devotional kit, like that number piece off to the left, just to journal some bullet points 1 to 4, and then the big point was the 5th point, this wisdom vision, that mastering the art of living looks like putting a priority on wisdom instead of other things like comfort or money or pleasure. That's a quote from my pastor. And then over here on the left, I've got a little bit of blank space, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to fill that. I thought maybe using a journal card cut in half would work, but it was too large. I love the look of Brianna's Florals fussy cut and then placed on the page, but if I did that, I wouldn't have enough room for what I want to include over on the left, so I brought a little bit over of that to the right so that I have some flowers on the right side of my spread, just like on the left. And then I'm going to use another piece of this faux washi strip included with her set to start another wave of notes. Again, using one of those little watercolor word fetties. So the proverb that I chose to use today was one that Tiffany included in her journaling prompt, Proverbs 2:3-5, which says, "Indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God." Now I'm just about done with the note-taking portion of my spread. I want to include 3 things about the purpose of the book of Proverbs. I think it's really, really important when we're studying through or reading through a book of the Bible to understand the author's purpose so that we don't interpret anything in a way that the author didn't intend. That just leads to a whole lot of harm rather than good. So I wanted to be sure to include those bits here. And then because all of my journaling is done and I had a little bit of white space left, I decided to go in with these really fun art marks and the glasses stamp from the 2020 Vision Devotional Kit stamp set. And that's it. So here's a finished look at my spread along with a couple of close-ups. If you guys want to pick up Brianna's set Dreamer, it is linked down in the video description below. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.